So now listen. So now today we finna be talking about the dangers of having too much Earth energy, right? Now you can look at this in whichever head way you want to, but I'm gonna keep it shit 100% honest with y'all. Now the thing about it is, Earth signs, it all sounds good up front, logical, practical. You see what I'm saying? Realistic. It does sound good, right? But this is the problem, right? You gotta remember, too much Earth, too much logical shit. In moments where you need to be sympathetic or have empathy, even if you like, I'm gonna give you moments where you need to be sympathetic and have empathy, you might not be able to really like do that shit, right? To where a person feels comfortable. Like, I'm gonna give you a prime example. You keep bringing a lot of your problems, issues to a person with heavy Virgo dominant energy. Guess what Virgo is about? It's a service, practical oriented, solution based zodiac sign, right? So instead of just crying like a Cancer or a Pisces might do, Virgo is going to be like, okay, well, listen, that's not going to really help. No, you need to do this, that, and third. And they're giving you realistic, practical solutions. But at the same time, the Earth energy, you need to learn that sometimes people just want to feel something as well, right? And what's wrong with people today is people is so kind of stuck on this. I don't give a fuck with nobody going on. I don't give a fuck with nobody going through. That ain't me. They need to toughen up. That's the thing about it. That's why everything fucked up now. That's why everybody complaining all the time on social media or faking like they not complaining. And in their real life, they actually suffering. Even if they got a lot of money, they got fucked up emotional connection with people and don't got no real true bonds. So they still feel it. But a lot of people feel like the world has scarred me and they didn't help me out. So I'm going to be like this back. That's real shit. So what you got to understand is people with strong Earth signs, let me tell you something. You have to understand when it's time to be empathetic. And Capricorn, especially y'all ass. Capricorn kind of very emotionally cold a lot of the time, right? Real shit. Remember, Capricorn is the planet of restrictions and limitations. And like, you shouldn't even look at it this way. You should do this shit that way. But that's why Earth signs, you have to, if you are so logical, y'all so logical to the point where you illogical. And what do I mean by that? You are so logical and rational based and solution oriented that you forget that everybody is different and everybody does have to be worked with and talked to and communicated differently. That's higher logic because you are aware that shit need to be done this way. But the thing about it is shit do need to be done that way. But you got to remember, other minds, other emotions have to be talked to. Other situations, people, they're not going to be as strong as you. Everybody is not a fucking leader. Everybody's not a follower, right? Everybody's not good with expressing themselves, right? Some people, sometimes if you go straight to that shit, sometimes it's hard for people to even, I'm gonna keep it buck. Sometimes people ain't intelligent enough to really get out their emotional energy and listen to what you say. So sometimes you might have to like kind of like open up that space inside of their mind themselves. You might have to pick them to get that shit out. It's having too much Earth energy in and of itself, like y'all really can lack empathy, right? To the point where people feel like you just don't care about me. You don't care about nothing. Like nothing I do real shit. And the thing about it is, Earth sign people, sometimes y'all might really do care. That's another thing. But the thing about this is the actions. People really go off actions and what's visually represented. So if in your mind you feel like, well, I feel like I'm this in my mind, the other person is like, well, I just don't see that. You never do this. You never maybe. You never do this. So you looking at it like, oh my God, you're being too emotional, too irrational. Maybe they are, but the thing about it is, maybe they are being emotional and irrational, but ask yourself, do you show emotion when it's time? Because the central point of human connectivity a lot of times is that emotional highs and lows, right? It's the emotional connectivity period. You want to be around people that make you feel good. You don't want to be around people that don't make you feel good, right? See how it's all about a feeling at the end of the day. Even the most logical people don't want certain shit, and they feel a certain type of way about certain shit. Real talk. A lot of people like, I don't want to be around anybody who can potentially fuck something up for me. I just feel like, yeah, you just feel like, right? Everybody has an emotional aspect in some way, some capacity, right? So the thing about it is, are you being like, is they just really tripping? Because sometimes water energy do get crybaby. They do trip and they do complain, but that's the nature of water. They are in their element, right? And if I'm making video about them too, right? Because they can get too overly emotional and fuck a lot of shit up. But the thing about it is, with you all Earth signs, you have to understand that, hey, listen, maybe I do need to see shit in your way. Maybe I could do me a little smile a little bit more. Maybe I could call you a little bit more and talk about some nice shit. Maybe we could go and hang out. You see what I'm saying? Real shit. But Earth sign, that's really kind of what it is, right? You know what I'm talking about? The Earth sign, they could probably handle this a little bit better. Maybe will be Taurus, maybe. And that's because Taurus ruled by Venus. I'm not sure, because remember, we not just one sign. We are composed of all 12 signs with different aspects, right? You could be a Taurus from sun or moon, but all your other shit in Aries and Capricorn. You know what I'm saying? So, but the energy in and of itself probably Taurus, right? Because that's where the moon, which is emotion, is exalted at. You see what I'm saying? But yes, but that's all I really got for y'all today. So Earth signs, just remember what I said. Y'all are very logical, but don't be logical to the point where you're illogical about how the world operates. You should, if you're so logical, you should know that everybody don't operate like you from a logical standpoint. So then you should know that some people have to have other things in place for them to be more receptive. And that's real shit. But other than that, though, y'all listen. I'll y'all later. If y'all need y'all a birth chart and stuff read, y'all know where to hit me up. But other than that, talk to y'all later.